time will tell, but consider this. If you would have asked anyone 5 or 10 years ago whether you would see a large-scale plant ever built again in the United States for anything that would employ 5,000 people or 10,000 people, people would have probably laughed you out of the room. So the fact that this is happening, that Elon Musk is building this enormous battery factory in Nevada, shows me that there is a future for manufacturing in the United States. It needs to be backed by good policy, but even in this age of globalization, technology, automation, robotics, that it's possible to have this with the right kind of support, with the right kind of vision, and that it's possible to reclaim some electronics manufacturing.
How do you feel about Harley-Davidson saying they're going to leave?
Look, I think Harley-Davidson, you have to look beyond the face value of that. There is no certainty that those tariffs that the EU has in place are going to remain in effect. My belief, my strong belief with respect to what Harley is doing is that they have long-term plans to outsource more of their production. Firms often look at public policy announcements and use those as a rationale or an excuse for some behavior that may be upsetting to the public or to their investors or to their employees. I think this is more of a convenient excuse than anything else, because if Europe and the president were to make a deal, say next month or next August, those long-term plans that Harley is making to offshore the production look pretty ridiculous.
And they're already building in Thailand and elsewhere for the Asian market. Presumably they're going to build there and elsewhere, potentially for the European market. Greg, you write in a column about something that Ian Bremmer has written about as well, and that is your view that globalism is on the wane after 70 years in the ascendance. I was trying to figure out whether the implication of that is that more production will be brought to the country where the items are sold, and that could potentially help American manufacturing. On the other hand, that would mean smaller installations, and there are certainly tricks in that for the supply chain.
So I think, Tyler, it kind of cuts both ways, and on jobs it's kind of a wash. So the United States will lose some jobs when Harley moves out motorcycle assembly because of European tariffs. On the other hand, Bombardier is going to move some aircraft assembly to Alabama because of U.S. tariffs. So at the end of the day, we gain some jobs, we lose some jobs. So who wins, who loses? Well, at the end of the day, when these companies have to break up their supply chains and only make in each market what they sell there because of these government barriers, it ends up being a very costly and inefficient, proposition. And we as consumers will pay more. What I think is kind of interesting in today's news is that Foxconn would not be putting that plant in Wisconsin if it was only choosing the most optimal location and the lowest cost. It's nowhere near any of its sort of existing like customers and so forth. Foxconn is basically buying some political insurance. Having jobs in the United States helps insulate it from the sorts of protectionist pressure the U.S. administration is showing right now. And even at that, it only makes economic sense because Wisconsin taxpayers are kicking in $5 billion.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.